So I thought I would chat with everyone a little bit about why I have branched away from, promoting extreme powerlifting, extreme strength, all these things at any cost, which for a while was a big part of my channel, a big part of my coaching. So I've had some people ask about it, and a lot of people said, I kind of like this direction you're going, but I haven't actually sat down and made a video explaining that direction or the why. So if I talk about it in live streams, but the thing to think about, I've always tried to be very healthy. I've always eaten clean with everything I do because I previously been well over 300 pounds. And of course I got sick and gained, like 80 pounds. Had to quit lifting, was sick in bed all that time, then rebuilt, lost all of it, started doing the influencer stuff shortly after that. 13 years ago or so. I hate that term, influencer. Let's call it fitness content creator and coach. I like that so much better. And now at 48, a lot of what I'm doing is, hey, I'm cutting to get a lot leaner. I'm going to be a lot leaner coming up from even here. I'm like 15 pounds into this cut. I've already transformed a lot, but I'm like, I need to get under 200 pounds. I'm even in this video that people are seeing, I'm like 211 here. I'm like, I probably need to be 195, 190. Eventually, I might even need to go down to 185 and just be lean and gain as much lean tissue as I can. Because I have to think of longevity, and so I've been more well-rounded in that of telling people, we not only need to eat clean and do some cardio, we need to be in really good cardiovascular shape. We need to do cardio every day. We really shouldn't be eating junk food at all. We need to be thinking about, even if we're carrying a lot of muscle, don't get too crazy with the BMI. That also means that people are like, well, the BMI is mine's super high. I'm like, yeah, but how much gear are you using? How much stuff are you taking to be there? Even if you're lean, that's going to take a toll, guys. And we have to, in the fitness world, think of these things and have to think of longevity and being more well-rounded. And, a lot of people have said for a long time, so let me explain my logic behind some of this. Or like, Blaha has stayed healthy. A lot of his contemporaries and the guys from his generation, multiple of them are dead, who were quote-unquote fitness personalities. On the extreme end, a lot of them are dead, several of them. A number of them have had major health issues. Many of them have had heart attacks. And I don't need to name who all they've been, but we've seen that. I'm standing here still healthy. I'm one of those handful of guys from that whole generation of the YouTubers and everything. I'm still healthy. I've got good blood work, no heart attacks. My blood pressure's okay. My lipids are reasonable. It's like, but I could probably be healthier. But I've watched all these other guys drop. A lot of them have been beat up with injuries who are even younger than me. They can't lift heavy anymore. We've seen the heart attacks. We've seen the deaths. Okay? At least one of them is now fat and diabetic. I mean, guys, come on. What are you doing? And they're late 40s or older. But here's the thing that I think about, too. My mother passed at 47 of a cardiovascular-related issue. I'm 48. I turned 49 later this year, guys. I'm going to be 50 is a year and a half away. I look at that and say, I don't need to be walking around at 200 plus pounds. I mean, realistically, and when I say cut down, it doesn't mean I'm going to lose muscle. I'm just going to shred body fat. So that's why I'm doing the cardio. People are like, man, you're doing a lot. You're turning into a cardio machine. You're doing 2-3 hours of cardio every day, some days more, just list cardio, the biking, the brisk walking. I'm doing it all fasted. I do intermittent fasting. My diet is super clean. I put up my food everywhere. I don't eat junk. I haven't had a true cheat meal. I've gone out to eat a couple times, January or whatever, but that's been about it. That were not even true cheat meals. I mean, they were relatively healthy. Some Korean barbecue and stuff. But since then, my last cheat meal was Christmas. You guys see how I eat, man. Like right now, it's the chicken, brown rice, sweet potatoes, lots of vegetables, Greek yogurt. Sometimes I work in some healthier fats in different phases, some extra avocados and stuff for a bit, walnuts, but it's all healthy foods. I get 50 to 70 grams of fiber a day. I keep saturated fat low. My refined sugars at 0. We avoid trans fats, right? Tons and tons of vegetables, all the cardio, because the thing is, longevity matters. I look at my training the same way of going, okay, I train a lot, but do we need to be just, beating ourselves into the ground? No. And I still obviously lift heavy. As you're watching, some of my stuff is still decently heavy, even this high rep stuff. I do lots of sets of 10 on the weighted dips all the way down with a plate. do sets of 10 to 12 with 315 on a squat, so on and so forth. I can still deadlift well over 500. I can still squat well into the 400. I can still bench well over 315. I've done all of it recently on camera. But the thing is, I look at this and go, as long as I can hit those numbers for reps, like, do we have to be super strong unless I'm going to peak for a meet? If I want to peak for a meet, I'll peak for a meet. But, I look at that and go, I'm close, but when I get to 50 coming up, so what? Do I need to be 200? No. I could walk around at 185, 190, 185 later at 50 and just be really, really, really ripped. As long as I can still bench 315 for a rep or two, I can still rep 405 on a squat, I can still deadlift 500, 2, 3, 4 reps. All of that raw. As long as we can do that, aren't we strong enough? I think so. So I'm focusing a lot more on a lot of weighted body weight exercises. Obviously, I'm doing curls and other isolation, but I'm like a lot of weighted dips, a lot of weighted pull-ups, weighted chin-ups, definitely pushing the squats, do my reverse hyper. But outside of that, but I'm really, even at the moment that I'm making this video, I'm only lifting 3 days a week. Now, granted, it's about 2.5, 3 hours, but we only lift 3 days a week. The rest of the days is just cardio, clean eating, focusing on sleep, stress management. Why? Because this is the way, and we have to think this way, guys. And I look at this and go, how many people who started following me 10, 12 years ago are like, Coach, I'm getting older now too. We got to think of this stuff, and we have to, right? My core audience, I get a lot of audience who come through and they're like, I started watching for some of the old call-out videos, and it's like, I'm like, how old are you now? They're like 37. It's like, I started watching you 12 years ago, I was 25. 37 now. Right? You guys have to start thinking about this stuff. You have to start thinking about this stuff. We're not getting any younger. So I feel like for me, because I'm one of the guys who made it out of that whole crew and I've stayed fit getting older, I need to really and truly focus on health and true fitness more and more and more. And I want to promote that message. I want to promote that message. And that's a lot of what I'm shifting all my outreach on both Facebook and on YouTube, is towards getting people really healthy, really looking at longevity, making the iron game and your overall health a lifelong endeavor. Not even about, hey, let's do the most extreme powerlifting or competitive stuff. No, that's not what it's about. You can still do those things, but don't sacrifice your health for it. Health is wealth. And I'm standing here, I've been doing more and more that I'm realizing, my father had a heart attack at 32. My mother died at 47. We have to live clean. I have to. And I want to carry that into my work and the message that I put out for everybody pretty much from this point forward.